Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shri Chaitanya Shri Gaura Karana Sakti Bhakti Dhira Damodara Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinare Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Vani Pracharya Nirvisesa Sanyavadi Bhaktata Desa Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakchulamilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandiham Sri Guru Sri Tapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sat Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devan Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakal Pataru Vyascha Kripa Sandhya Vacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavad Gita Siddhis Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita Siddhis chapter 16, The Divine and Demoniac Natures, text number 21. Trividham naraka shiedam dvaram nasanam adamana kama kudastata lubhas tasmaditartayam tajet. Trividham naraka shiedam dvaram nasanam adamana kama kudastata lubhas tasmaditat trayam trajet. Trividham naraka shiedam dvaram nasanam atmana kama krodastata lobhas tasmaditat trayam trajet. Trividham, of three kinds. Narakasya, of hell. Idam, this. Dwaram, gate. Nasanam, destructive. Admanaha, of the self. Kamaha, lust. Krodha, anger. Tata, as well as. Lobha, greed. Tasmad, therefore. Etat, this. Triumph, three. Tyajet, one must give up. Tyajet, one must give up. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Purport. The beginning of demoniac life is described herein. One tries to satisfy his lust, and when he cannot, anger and greed arise. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demoniac line must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from these material entanglements. So that is the end of Srila Prabhupada's purport. So text 21 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, entitled The Demoniac, the Divine, and the Demoniac Natures. The Demoniac, the Divine, and the Demoniac Natures. It's very, very, very important warning. Krishna orders every sane person to give up lust. This is Krishna's order. Krishna is giving an order, not that is giving us a suggestion so we can think whether we should do it or not. This is an order. And he framed it so nicely. That every sane person should give up lust, anger, and greed. Because these are the three gates leading to hell. These qualities are so vicious. These three gates, lust, greed, anger, they're so vicious, that even one possessing a divine nature should fear them. I repeat, these three gates are so vicious that even those on the path of divinity should fear them, should be careful with them. For a man, a woman personifies calm. For a woman, a man also personified calm, lust. Both. We are a source of distraction for each other. We are both distraction for each other. If they are not lusty men, lusty women will not disturb. Iron will attract a magnet. A magnet will attract iron. You don't see wood and wood attracting each other. Neither do we see magnet and magnet attracting each other. Magnet and magnet, we don't attract each other. They have no feelings. But once the iron comes in, there's attraction. Naturally, the attraction. Without introduction, the attraction. Because both men and women, we gratify each other's senses. We try to gratify each other's senses. And in the name of trying to fulfill a desire, which never worked. It never works. And it will never work, because we cannot do a wrong thing and get it right. We cannot do a wrong thing and get it right. If you want to get it right, you have to do the right thing. So our selfish desire will never be satisfied, no matter how we try for it. Will never be satisfied. When lust is unsatisfied, when lust is not satisfied, naturally it will attract the companion, crude anger. When our selfish desire is not satisfied, anger comes in. Why you didn't give me what I want from you? You are meant to give me what I want. But who are you? Who are you? Who are you that everything should be for your pleasure? Who are you? But this is our illusion. This is the ignorance that everybody deals with in this material world, imperceptibly. The moment our desires are not fulfilled, the next enemy comes in, crude. That is natural. That is natural. Everything, when you say a package, means that a container that has varieties of things inside is a package. Like I have a dress, the button is there, the pocket is there. Everything is there in one place, a package. So, lust will exist because there is anger. Then you can say, well, but so what if I get my desire fulfilled? Even if you get the desire fulfilled and there is no anger will be there but silent. Anger will be there but silent. Still, the greed will come inside. Even if you get the desire fulfilled, anger will bend down the head to give chance for the greed. The greed will come inside to continue the cycle of illusion. We have never seen someone in this material who is satisfied. No, I'm fully contented. Now I'm satisfied. I can give my company to somebody. You take it. Just take it. I don't care again. Nobody feel like that in this world. The more we get, the more we want. Yes. That greed will give birth to illusion. The laws of discrimination. Illusion make us illusion. That is, it brings on the illusion. And the illusion makes us to not know what should be desired and what should not be desired. What should be done and what should not be done. Illusion, ignorance. We don't know what is good for us. That's illusion. So what is bewildered? And in that bewilderment, intoxication follows in. Intoxication. We become intoxicated in illusion. This is how we move on. When Bhagavad Gita say samsara, this is what it means. One thing after another, one thing after another. It's a chain. And it goes on like that. Number two, samsara, vatmani. Be rotating in this circle. So from the mixture of these five, lust, greed, anger, illusion, intoxication, what happened? Envy will automatically follow. Envy will flow in. Yes. Envy. So these are the associate component of these three gates. And they flow together. We know how envy burns. We know how envy burns. Envy, it burns like fire. Lust burns like fire. Anger burns like fire. All of them, greed, all of them are flames. And when it's in the middle of flames, what happens? Boiling. If it is water, it be boiling and get dried up. So everyone is dried up in this fire of material illusion. So Krishna is telling every sane person should please try to avoid these gates. So try to avoid the gate. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demonic life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation. No possibility of liberation. A person who is burning cannot be peaceful. So there's no surprise that we are not peaceful in this material. Even though there's so many so many movements in this world to promote the peace. So many peaceful organizations promoting peace all over the world and chanting every festival. It is Santi, 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 peace, peace, peace. But where is the peace? Where? A person who is burning. How can a person in fire? I tell you, somebody burning in the fire, be peaceful. Is it not illusion, is it? Like you in the hospital, someone is jacked up, the leg and the hand is jacked up, they feel with the drips and all kinds of oxygen, and I say, oh Prabhu, hi, how are you? Fine. Fine? In the hospital? Fine. Yeah, it is fine because there's illusion. There's illusion. I mean, illusion, say yeah, it's fine. Fine. So we are burning in the fire of these dangerous enemies. These dangerous enemies. Greed. There is a very beautiful story. It's a very beautiful story from the Puranas. A very powerful king, very, very powerful. He's very, 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 very good at defeating his enemies. He crushes enemies in battle. So, why is he fighting enemy? Desire. A desire, lust. Because of that, he's fight other kings to increase the greed, right? Fighting to get more kingdom means was increasing the empire, the kingdom. It's increasing. The greed extended to the extent that, because the greed burns. The greed was burning in him that at the time he started fighting two kings at the time. Usually he was fighting, he was going one after another. And it became so greedy that he was not fighting only one king at a time. Now he's fighting two kings at a time. And what happened? Those two kings he was fighting with made friends with each other. Because they know that this person is known for defeating whoever fight with him. He's so powerful. So those two kings, they joined together, they team up together and started facing this one. And behold, he lost the battle. He was defeated. He was defeated because of the greed. So when he was defeated, he lost his kingdom, he lost his queens, he lost his treasure, he lost everything. He ran into the forest. The greed is such a great contamination that when he ran and entered into the forest, even the animals and birds ran away from him. Here come the greedy one. Here come the contaminated, greedy one. Birds and animals were running away from him. Not out of fear of being killed by him, they are afraid of his contamination. Greed. Animals were so they were so disturbed by his greediness that they were running away from him in all directions. Hey, here comes this greedy one. So in human society has no place. Even among the animal society has no place. What is that? It is a situation we're living entities in this material world. This is our situation in the material world. Yamaraj is disgusted with our faces. Oh, this face again? You're coming here again? The duration of our life is calculated to be time immemorial. Yamaraj is tired of our faces. You again? Yes. So here, Lord Krishna is warning us. Let us be aware. Be aware of these gates. And anger. Anger is also a terrible fire. When we are very angry, we create a great distance between us and the person we are angry with. Great distance. That is how powerful anger is. You put something that is very, very near, a person that is very near, you put it very far. That is why we have to shout at each other. Because it's a great distance, miles away. That's the contamination with anger. People who love themselves so carefully, they don't even have to say a word with each other. They understand everything. They're very, very close, very intimate. Love brings people so close, very intimate that you don't even have to say a word. Just being together alone, there's a great communication, and that brings intense greed, intense spiritual greed. This one is spiritual greed. Spiritual greed is authorized. It's authorized. There is a contaminated material greed. There is a spiritual greed. Our chariots, they authorize the spiritual greed. Rupa Goswami says we should be greedy for Krishna Prema, pure love for Godhead. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see that Lord Krishna is described there as a greedy person. Krishna is greedy to taste the love of Krishna that Srimati Radharani is enjoying. Krishna became greedy for that. For that, he has to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's a different thing. That is what everybody should go in for, not the materialistic greed. That is so contaminated. So we're talking about anger. Anger, so contaminated. When we are angry, there is a great distance between us. Great distance. So to talk to each other, we have to shout on top of our voice. You shout and even forget that we are no more human beings. A human being should not shout like that. That is not a human being. That is not a human being. A human being should not shout like that. That is demonic. Demonic. But we should create such a great distance between us instead of creating love between us. That's anger. And that is the external. There is a subtle contamination in the anger. When one is very, very angry, or one is very, very angry, very, very fearful, it's just like when one is having internal bleeding. Internal bleeding. Internal bleeding is very dangerous. If one has a wound, the blood is coming out. It's safer. And if one is bleeding inside. Very dangerous. Fear and anger is like internal bleeding. Can cause death. So when one is very angry like that, you know we are seriously contaminated. We are extremely contaminated. Contaminated. If you chant a mantra, it will not work. Any mantra you chant in anger will not work. Any auspicious activity done in that anger, it will not work. It will never bring result because it is contaminated. That is how dangerous and contaminated anger is. Because you have lost all potency. Nothing good will happen in that environment. Because the energy is charged with demonic energy. The environment is charged with demonic energy. Nothing good will function in that place. If you chant a mantra, it will not work. If you do any sacrifice, it will not work. Nothing auspicious will work. And imagine if you go to the kitchen to cook in anger. You're angry in your cooking. What you are cooking is not food, it is anger. And whoever takes that food will be angry naturally. So you are distributing anger. So dangerous. So Krishna is warning us. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Become degraded. So degraded. Like Krishna explained in the next verse. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, or son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attain the supreme destination. But the person who does not escape this three gates, Krishna said he is going to hell. It is hell. Only hell. So one is considered to be sane if we are trying to avoid this three gate, this dangerous gate. One is considered successful if we're working on this. Krishna is giving us this serious warning. That even if one is on the process of divinity, these three gates are so dangerous that we should try to avoid it. We should be very, very careful with these three gates. Lust, anger, and greed. If this is done, then we can work towards the supreme destination. We can be heading towards the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. So, in Sri Upanishad, we have a verse which speaks about the killer of the soul, the Atmaha. And in the purport of this verse, we also see there is a person is killing himself. This is a killer of the soul also. So can we relate both of verses in the same context, Guru Maharaj?
Yes. One who is not working towards elevating the soul is a killer. And who is a killer? A killer is a demon. A killer is a demon. Only demons will kill. Devotees will maintain. Devotees will maintain. Only demons will destroy. So yes, we know a devotee different from the demon because of our activities. Devotees, even something is poor, devotees try to patch it and mend it to make it useful. And the demons do what they do is to just to destroy. The demigods, they told of Brahma. When Hiranyakasipu was performing austerity, the demigods, they told of Brahma. Our dear Brahma, our dear Brahma, our dear Lord, please listen to us. Hiranyakasipu is performing austerity. And he's worshiping you. He's worshiping you to get power. As a devotee, you will feel that, well, I don't care for a position, all this material. So he let him take over the position, no problem. But it's a problem. The demigods are speaking to the Brahma. It is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that now, as you are leading us, there's a religion, there is peace, occupational duties are being nicely performed, so everybody is happy. But let us tell you, as soon as this man take over position, all these things will be destroyed. All of them will be destroyed. No more happiness, no religious duty, no cows, everything will be destroyed. Every auspicious thing will be destroyed. Only miseries will pervade everywhere. So for the interest of peace, do not allow him to take over the post. Demons. So killer. destroyers of all good things. Brahmanas, no chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, no Vedic sacrifices, killing the cows. This is what we're seeing today. All agents of Hirakasipa. All killers of the soul. All right. Rana Hari Prabhu asked a question.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dhanavad Pranam. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I think you hit again the head. You know, we are so fallen. You know, every time you're taking a hammer and you're beating us, we realize that we are so fallen. Actually, I think you need to buy a bigger hammer. Actually, for me. Thank you, Maharaj, for a nice lecture. And so, Maharaj, you know, these you know, I just want to understand that, you know, how do we transfer this these three lust, anger, and to the devotional service? How do we transfer these things into devotional service?
If you want to, like, it's Solinda Bhattacharya Maharaj wrote a book, Transforming Lust into Love, and practical exercises to be performed. Practical solutions. What is lust? Opposite of love. Everyone has this quality because it's part of the soul. Our natural love for Krishna becomes contaminated by the touch of material energy. That becomes lust. In other words, our love for Krishna now is not for Krishna any longer. It is now for material energy, for sense gratification. So what to do? Best thing is to try to transform it by changing the process of sense gratification instead of into trying to satisfy Krishna. And our Acharyas has given us so many ways to do this. But it's a practical thing we're doing every day. Instead of cooking for oneself, now cooking for Krishna. This is a process, a transformation. But the problem is that we are not doing it consciously. Even though our Acharyas are so kind, so compassionate, so loving, and they find so many ways to help us. We also find many ways to deviate. It's a problem. So just take cooking alone. That is a practical demonstration how to transform our desire, selfish desire. Now you cook for Krishna, not for yourself. We have selfish desire, selfish, everything about me and me. Just turn that into trying to help other people. Simply trying to treat everyone nicely. Everyone, just to please try to treat everyone nicely. Everyone. Why?
No.
Okay, thank you. Why we cannot treat people nicely? Anyone. It doesn't mean my wife, my husband, my brother, my sister, everyone. We should try to treat everyone nicely. That's the beginning. It is there in all the scriptures. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's there in the Bible. It's simple like this, but we make it so difficult because we are complicated. Therefore, every little thing we also make it complicated for ourselves. Treat everyone nicely. That's all. That's the beginning. Everyone. Do not keep anyone negatively in the mind. That's the beginning. And it's always about teacher man also went as far as giving 4 technologies for community building. Four technologies. The love you have for your wife, the love you have for your husband, the love you have for somebody, just try to use that for everyone. It's difficult, but we have to try. We have to begin from the beginning. We have to try to begin. That is the beginning. We're transforming our loss back into love. And we can measure how we are making progress in Christian consciousness by how much we're having a lovely dealing with all human beings, all living entities. So much impersonalism among devotees. Yes. Thank you, Pragati, for that. That's it, Pranahari. That's the beginning. Should start from there. Treat everyone nicely. Everyone. Whoever is sitting with you, either in the bus, in the train, in the airplane, in the street, whoever is close to you is your neighbor. Treat that person kindly. That's a neighbor. A neighbor is not just a person, just any person around you, either it's an animal, it's whatever that is near to you, that is your neighbor. Treat that person nicely. Sometimes you see people, they treat animals very nicely, but they are creating heavy ammunition to kill human beings. That's ignorance. Heavy weapons are making. They are not making for killing animals, but they keep animals very nicely, train the dog very nicely, but the heavy ammunition are being made to destroy human beings. Ignorance. They're all demons. All right.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, one question which is not related to anyone, but related to me, which is, basically like Maharaj, when we are doing a service, the devotional service, we find that, someone comes in, we don't like that person, oh, why he has started, the devotional service. And we try to become jealous, or we try to angry on him, and that's destroy the reputation. So how do we deal with that,
Demonic mentality. It's not divine mentality, demonic mentality.
Right,
why are we recommended to associate with sadhus? Why we are recommended sadhu sanga, sadhu sanga, sadhu sanga? Why is that? Because they will purify our negative thought, our negative dealing, misunderstanding. They will correct it by the association. How do they do that? When we consciously associate with them and hear them and practice what they're teaching us. Not just to come and take their remnant of prasadam and waste their duty. We should see them. We should see them carefully, how they are doing with their life, and try to follow that. That is the importance of sadhu association, sadhu sangha. Otherwise, you can sit with them like mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will sit on the lap of sadhu. But what is he doing there? They'll bite him and give him malaria.
True, Maharaj. True, very true.
So, Srivas Pandit, when there is a new devotee, he says, Jai, our family is increasing. He's happy.
Nice, very nice.
The opposite, oh, why are you here? Why are you here? Why do you come here? When are you living here? He's Paramaparat. He's Paramaparat. Demonic. Our chariots are happy. Oh, our family is increasing. Welcome, welcome. People say, why are you here? Why are you here? When are you living here? This place is for me. It is me. It's me. Who is you? Who are you?
True.
What mosquito will kill you and say, me? Who is you? Mr. Fool, that's all. We are just. That is what we are. Yes, I wish Rupa for what's your question.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurudev. Please accept our obeisances, Shila Gurudev. Actually, thank you very much for addressing such important subject matters, Shila Gurudev. We see that Lord Krishna has also described these three items that you talk, the lust, anger, and greed, in chapter 2 also, in verse 62 and 63, where the contemplation, where Lord Krishna spoke out about the contemplation on sense objects. And Shila Gurudev, as devotees, we see that in our day-to-day life, we are being bombarded, propelled by so many sense objects in our lives, and which is and contemplating on these objects, which leads to lust, anger, and ultimately our intelligence falls, and we fall down in the material pool. So Shila Gurudev, how can we actually check it from the beginning itself? Check our contemplation on the sense objects, since sense objects are everywhere around us. Thank you, Shila Gurudev.
Anything you don't like, don't look at it more than necessary. Anything you don't like, anything which is not good for us, don't look at it more than necessary. If you look at it more than necessary, then the mind will take this, you will snap the picture, put it there, you're finished. Don't let the mind take the picture. We're not going to close our eyes in the street. We're not going to do that. If you do that, you will fall down.
Yes.
So don't look at anything which is not good for us more than necessary. Don't look at it. And it is better to close our mind's eye than the physical eye. The mind's eye should be closed. How do we do that? By the process of Krishna consciousness. We should see everything in relation to Krishna. See everything in relation to Krishna. How we do that is to constantly hear about Krishna. If you hear something, you'll be thinking of that thing. That is hearing. Not just the sound. Not just the sound. If you hear, you will think about that thing you hear. So if we are hearing about Krishna, we think of Krishna. Which is the main reason why Krishna has performed so many pastimes. Therefore, we should come together, sit together and discuss these activities of Krishna. And then the mind will rest on that, will accept that and be thinking on that. So, no more Maya.
Yes, sir, I do.
If you don't engage the mind like that, then you have to go somewhere. The mind needs engagement. That's the whole purpose of chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. Yoga Ruruksho. What is it? The beginning process of yoga is what? Work is the means. You have to work seriously. You have to engage the senses seriously in working. No spare time for the senses. So Prahlad Maharaj, he used one word in 7 canto of Bhagavatam. He used one word. Adanta Gubi. Adanta Gubi. Giving freedom to the senses. He said, Adanta Gubi Tamishram. Adanta Gubi Tamishram will go to hell. If you give freedom to the senses, will go to hell. If you engage the senses in Krishna consciousness, you will go to Krishna. So everything begins from meditation. Don't meditate on unnecessarily. Don't meditate on unnecessary things. Don't meditate on unnecessary things. Do not meditate on unnecessary things. Unnecessary thing, don't meditate on it. Unnecessary. Necessary. Something you don't like, something you don't want, something has no benefit, don't meditate on it. Don't. Do not. Why I should waste my time for something that has no benefit for me? Why? That is a process. If we don't want our senses to disturb us, keep ourselves busy. So we should learn the process of being mindful. To be mindful.
Yes, Shri. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances. We are having one question from Sukadev Prabhu. Sukadev Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my prostrated obeisances. Thank you very much for the profound, very profound topic. It was very profound. I'm very grateful, Shila Gurudev. My question, Guru Maharaj, is in regards to, in the discourse, you spoke about devotees should be greedy for Krishna's mercy. You know, we have to be greedy. But then also, we also hear that we also have to treat everyone, you know, with love. Now, if we become greedy, it means that we have to focus our mind on an object, on the object of our greed. We need to focus our attention on that particular object. Now, how if we are so much engrossed with our mind focused on what we want to achieve due to our greed, how can we treat others also with love at the same time? Because treating others with love at the same time is going to be like a distraction, you know, to what it is that we have in mind that we want to achieve. So Guru Maharaj, how do we bridge this level? How do we bridge it? Because most often when we become very greedy for just having Krishna's mercy, it becomes difficult for us to have a very productive relationship with other people.
No.
Okay.
No. The sign, S-I-G-N, the sign of a fortunate person is that he wants to make others fortunate. A person who is fortunate, greedy for love of Godhead, is a fortunate person. They are not selfish, it's fortunate. They will make others fortunate like themselves. That is the sign, that is the proof that this person is a fortunate soul. Just look at Gita, look at the questions Arjuna is asking. He is not asking for himself, he is asking for all of us. That is a fortune. Look at Haridas Thakura. Haridas is busy fixing, chanting the holy name, but he has interest in other living entities. Therefore, he's preaching the glories of the holy name, Namacharya. Look at this Goswami. They were fixed in their Krishna consciousness. They fixed, nothing else come inside. But they preach Krishna consciousness. They have chance for others. Because that is the nature of fortune, they will make others fortunate like themselves. Materialistic person who is contaminated will never have space for others. No space for others. The fortunate devotees, they have space for others. Therefore, they are described as Mahatma. Prabhupada said broad-minded. Broad-minded. They are Mahatmas. Broad-minded. They're not narrow-minded. Broad-minded. Prabhupada was sitting comfortably chanting Sud Japa in Vrindavan, but he took the risk of dying in a sea to America to do what? Because he's broad-minded. He will not just think on sincere love of God, love of God. Yes, he has love of God. He has to distribute love of God to others. That's why they preach. You don't see a selfish person preach. A selfish people never preach. Preach to who? Because like Pranahari Prabhu was asking a question. You see somebody want to be devoted, you push the person away, don't come here, don't come and disturb me. That's a selfish person. No space for others. A broad-minded person, come. Everybody come. This is space for you. This is space. Come. Oh, we are full. No, John, let him come in. Make adjustment. Yes, everybody will fit in. Even the illiterate common people, they say that they know this because the person who is civilized, they are very wise. They're very wise people. They're wise people. Even though they don't have any academic knowledge, they are better than those who are big professors and have big certificate and department. Commonly, people who have culture, who are very civilized, because they have a human nature, human quality, just human qualities. They said, two lovers, two people who love themselves, like who are very close. A stick of a broom can contain them comfortably. A stick of a broom. A stick of a broom, not the size. It's not my finger. A stick of a broom can contain two lovers comfortably, while a palace cannot contain two enemies. Even the whole world cannot contain two enemies. But two lovers can lie comfortably on a stick of a broom, satisfied. So those who are fortunate, they will make others fortunate like themselves. That is the experience. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Gurudev. Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Any other question? Shall we close?
No, Gurudev, we have another question from Gaura Hari Prabhu. Gaura Hari Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Are you? Yes.
Yes. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Maharaj, just I had one question.
Please go ahead. Very happy to see you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. It's been a long time, Maharaj, to get your darshan. I'm very happy.
All right.
Maharaj, like we were discussing on this, how seeing everyone equally and treating everyone Actually, sometimes when we have a difference of opinion while doing services, or sometimes then that same negative thought just rolling on our head whenever we see devotees, but still when we hear the sessions and all, like read, but we get inspiration, but when we see the person, then the same negative impressions just rolling on our head, but it's very difficult to come out and have the good relation with the devotee. So
yes, so the Prabhupada said that is happening because of our individual material contamination, not our bhakti. It's our own individual contamination. He said, let me get it out. So can I read this as a proper put it? Yes, this is what the Prophet said. 4th Canto, chapter 30, text 8. Prophet said, in the material world, such unity is not possible. Even though people may officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all the nations have their particular national ambitions. And consequently, they cannot be united. This unity between individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in a society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited due to their having different opinions. Due to having different opinions and leaning towards material things. Leaning towards material things. Differences is okay. This difference is okay because we're individual. So look at the Goswami, look at the Goswami, all of them are literacy, as a pure devotees, all of them. You think that Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, the same sunrise, the same chapati. See, things like that. There are differences. Because we're individual. And this difference makes the spiritual rasa tasty. Don't you see that in our life? We have varieties of prasadam, varieties. Why? That is the model of enjoyment, varieties. Yes. So differences in opinion is not a problem. The problem is that we have material desires. That's what is contaminating the differences we have. This unity between individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in the society of Krishna consciousness, in our movement, members sometimes appear disunited due to their having different opinions and leaning towards material things. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. There cannot be two opinions. There is only one goal: to serve Krishna to one's best ability. Then how can there be two opinions? Your interest is to serve Krishna, my interest is to serve Krishna. If there's the differences, we will unite. We will we will unite. I give you an example. We want to take this Bhagavad Gita to the temple room, okay? So your opinion is that you should take one, I would take one, and I'm saying, no, let's just take it together. You hold this side, I hold this side. So we can go, oh, it will make our movement, it will make our movement very slow. If you take one, I take one, you can move individually, it will be very small. I say, no, Prabhu, this is unity. Let's just you hold that side, I hold this side, so you can move together. See, we have different opinions. But the main thing is that we should take Gita to the temple room. Why should I fight the way we take it there? Why should I fight? That fighting is my own selfish interest. And that will make it different. That will make it difficult. So Prabhupada said, leaning towards material things, not Krishna things. There is only one goal, to serve Krishna to one's best ability. If there is some disagreement over serving, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. As spiritual. So we shouldn't fight over it. Shouldn't fight over it. Just a disagreement should be taken as spiritual, as Prabhupada saying. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstances. In any circumstance, it cannot be disunited. In any circumstance. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy and willing to reward all kinds of benediction to his devotees, as indicated in this verse. Does it make sense?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj, is it just adding to that point? Is it that material leaning of the two-sided, or just the person we are perceiving the things? It is like
it could be. Yeah, it can be both. It can be both. Then it makes it more difficult. But if it is one-sided, it will make it easier. You understand? If it's one-sided, it make it easier. How? I would say, okay, Prabhu, let's take it individually. No problem. Let's take it individually. It's finished. Right? But if it is both, you're going to maintain your point, I'm going to maintain my point, then we are not going anywhere. So at least one person should show the higher side. And if one person has the higher side, it will resolve the issue very carefully. I say, okay, bro, no problem. Let's take it one by one. No problem. Let's go ahead. Finish. And that's the end. If it is both sides, I say, no, Prabhu, you have to follow what I'm, otherwise, this cannot happen. You are going to say, okay, if you don't take my side, this thing cannot happen because I'm superior to you. I'm superior to you. You are superior to me. Yeah, that is what. Fight. If it is Krishna consciousness, they will not fight. When our selfishness comes inside, they will fight. And it makes it very difficult.
At least, Maharaj, how we should exactly work on our side.
We should know what is the problem. Now we should know. Now we should know what is the problem. That if there is service for us to do together, we should not fight over it. Let us try to see how we can do it better. Because that is what is going to please our acharyas. This is what is going to please them. It's not going to please them by two of us fighting over it. It's not going to please them. What is going to please them is how we do it. How we do it very nicely. And they will enjoy it. That will make them happy. Our spirit of cooperation will make them very happy. Even if it is imperfectly done, but our spirit of cooperation will make it tasty. It will amend all the mistakes which is there, which we made inside. It will amend all. And it will be nice. And we'll get blessed by that. How we cooperate. Therefore, we should hear like this and understand. To understand what we're supposed to do individually to bring in the success. I was telling one devotee driver, don't, even if you are right, don't compete with these people. Don't. Even if you are right, you're on your right, you're following your driving principle nicely. But still, don't compete with other people. Even if they are wrong, don't. Just give them chance, because if both of you hit each other, you are going to be an anxiety. He's going to be an anxiety. So just give them. Just be a fool. Just be a fool, and let them do their nonsense. You'll be peaceful. At least you'll be peaceful. They can go and do it another person, but not you. All right?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. Dhanyavad, Maharaj. Hare
Gurudev, yes, we are having 3 more questions in the chat box. Yes, as the first question is from Aditya Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. Guru Maharaj, you told even saintly persons should fear from these demons. So, Guru Maharaj, what are the ways one can be mindful of them?
How do we feel if you see a snake? If you see a snake, how do we feel? Hey, oh, Krishna, protect me. The same mood we should have. We should do like that. The gate leading to hell, we don't want to pass there. Because any gate we follow means we are going inside. We are going inside, so we should feel disgusted. Be very careful with our lust and anger and greed. Should be careful. That's why we should study our scripture, so we know the danger that we get from this and try to avoid them. Krishna is giving clear, direct instruction. We should be careful with the gate. All right.
We have a second question from Rasila Priyamataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to you. Please, I wanted to ask in terms of anger, as devotees or aspiring devotees, what should be done when someone is acting in an atrocious manner towards devotees? Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
One is acting
in an atrocious manner toward devotees.
According to Vaishnava etiquette, if someone is acting badly with devotees, we should come in and do something. But in Kali Yuga, that instruction has to be carefully followed. It has to be carefully followed. Vaishnava etiquette, if someone blaspheme a devotee, kill the person, but you cannot do that in Kali Yuga. Or you cut their own tongue, but you can also not do that. So the best thing is to leave the place. But if a devotee is attacked, we should come in. We should do something, because if you don't do something, you get implicated. If a devotee is attacked, if you have the physical strength, you should come in and do something. If you don't, you should call some other forces to come in and help. You should call some other help, other superior help to come inside. So they can intervene in the case and resolve it. But we must do something. Since the thing has happened in our present, means Krishna wanted to do something. Call for the superior help immediately to come into the case and resolve it. That we should do. If it is within our power, we should do something. If it is beyond us, call for different help to come in and support it. And support us in resolving that issue. Then we'll be free. All right.
Yes. We have another question from Jayesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. You told we should not think negative of anyone in the mind, but some people give us a lot of problems, and it is difficult to avoid negativity about them. How to deal with this situation?
It's a universal principle for everyone not to think negatively about somebody. Of course, on a practical level, and our level is difficult, but you have to practice it. If you don't practice it, we're not going to reach the level. And it is not that it's for some people and not for some. No, all of us devotees, we have to follow the same pattern, the same level of purification to go to Godhead. We have to do the same thing. And for us to practice that, there should be something that would help us to practice that. That means we should have the situation to practice it. So whoever the person may be, you don't keep the person negatively in the mind. That is not to say that we should not recognize something wrong is being done. You can address it. Address it and free ourselves from it. If one is cheating us, you should call for a different agency to come inside and resolve it. So we don't continue to dwell in there and be counting all the negative thing the person is doing. Look for some avenue, some agency to come in and address it and remove it from the mind. Otherwise, we are going to meditate on that and it becomes a chronic disease. The problem is not solving because we are not following the proper process, and we are contaminating ourselves because we are meditating on that. Which is wrong. You just call in a different measure that can resolve it. So we are free and take our mind away from it. All right.
Gurudev, we have one more question from Sukadev Prabhu. Sukadev Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, sorry. Gurudev, it is said that one needs everything for one to be able to practice Krishna consciousness properly. Qualification is needed. Now, so Guru Maharaj, please, can you tell me what is the qualification to be able to have proper spiritual greed, so that one can truly, the greed can be truly proper and not motivated by some selfish desires or some karmic desires like that, but genuine spiritual greed. What is the qualification for this, Guru Maharaj?
You need good association. If you don't have association that will stimulate your Krishna consciousness, you will not get that greed. You will not have the proper qualification to get to go to this greed. But it's not something we do sentimentally. It requires a heavy level of purification, which will come from good association, and we have to practice nicely. Then we'll be promoted to this level. If you're associating with the people who doesn't have this level of understanding, you'll never get there. If you're not hearing about these things, you'll never get there. So we need the association now help us to hear this and then practice it nicely. Then we'll be promoted to this stage. It needs a high level of advancement to come to this level. So we can be greedy if we are associating with those who are greedy for pure love of God. Because the association will make us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. I have one question from my side. You mentioned that any mantra we chant in anger will not work. So what about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Okay.
It do not work.
Okay.
The Hare Krishna mantra is a person like other mantras. If you're angry and are chanting Hare Krishna, you're going to get the opposite result because you're making offense to the name. So we cannot make progress by being offensive to the name.
Okay, thank you very much, Gurudev. I think, Hare Krishna, I think we have no more question. I think we have one, sorry, on YouTube. We have one question from Krishna Siratan Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, what to do if we are in lack of devotee association?
You should look for it. Look for devotee association. Now you can look for it through the internet. Like now you're here with this association. You should invite devotees to visit you, or you make your own plan and visit devotees. If you're working somewhere, plan and say when you're on holiday, you should travel and meet devotees. Have association for devotees. Or you can invite devotees to visit you. And you can also meet devotees on the net and hear lectures. You can have kirtan together. So everything is available now. Everything is available. The only thing we need is the desire to have these things. You will get. If you have strong desire, you get everything. Everything will be there. Everything is available, depending on our desire. Everything is available. Once you desire, you will get them. If you don't desire, you will never get them. Never. So we are saying, plan yourself when you're on a holiday, on a break, you visit devotees somewhere and have a session with devotees. Or you invite devotees to come and visit your place, take care of them and hear from them nicely, practice together. Or you can do it through the net. Like now we are together, we are seeing other devotees together, we are discussing Krishna consciousness. So there are 3 ways here, at least minimum. We can expand it. There are so many other ways, but these 3, we can take it from here and can enrich ourselves in Krishna consciousness. There are so many things are being done on the Zoom. You can do parikram on the Zoom, you can do lectures on it, have kirtan on the Zoom. So everything is here. Go for it. There are already so many lectures on the YouTube everywhere. Just plug in there and you have all limited lectures and kirtans and festivals all over the world. You can participate in that. You can do it both ways. Do this one in your Zoom, then physically make arrangement to have it with other devotees. Either they come to visit or you go and visit. The non-devotees, they make a lot of arrangement for their sanga education. They travel very far to go and visit their friends for sanga education. So we are doing the right thing. We have the association of devotees, which is invaluable. So we should make arrangement to do the same thing. take it somehow or other. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. I think we have no more questions. So we have come to the end of our lecture. Well, thank you, Gurudev, for this wonderful lecture. And we also thank all the devotees who have attended this lecture. And we pray to see you next Monday. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj ki jai.
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 Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad
Jai.
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 Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Right.